Good morning once again, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings for Friday morning. It's a nice Friday, despite the little challenges that we might have every now and then for this morning, for the rest of the day. We okay. We okay. My name is Christal. Going to take you up until 9:45 officially. We sign out and then we come back with community dateline 9:45, and at 9:55 we bring to you AFM's news in brief. That's brought to you compliments Lanes and Sons Limited. Now, before we get into the little chit chat about Huffles and Brighton Salt Pond out there, let me tell you about a place that you can go to rest and relax. Or if you're overseas and you're coming home, you need a place to stay that is close to Kingstown, that has a good view, that feels really good, that is comfortable and clean, where the owners pay attention to detail, where you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi access and the strength of your Wi-Fi because you have your own, where you don't have to worry about the amenities. You have your own fridge, your oven, your stove, your kettle, all these nice modern amenities that are all working. You have a nice little television in your room, your king size bed, the AC, a nice bathroom, modern bathroom, clean. The cleaner comes in every single day to tidy up. You have a nice little couch outside to sit back and relax. Every apartment has a nice little veranda so you can go outside and take in some fresh air and overlook the harbor, and you could see Beckway and Botanic Gardens, even the PM's residence. You know what I'm saying? There's a little supermarket close by so you can take a 2 minutes walk. If you're walking a little slow, it might take you a minute or 30 seconds if you run. That's really close. It's located in Lodge Village. Oh, yes, with a 9.7 out of 10 star rating online. And you can check them out on what do people them name again, boy? My apologies. You can check them out on Airbnb and booking.com. And they have a very, very, very high score. You can read other people's reviews if you want some extra and they are affordable. On Instagram, you're checking them out at Apartment Suites. On Facebook, Royal Bliss Apartment Suites. That's what I'm talking about. Royal Bliss Apartment Suites. The 3-story, very nice, new, modern building in Lodge Village, Orange. So if you're going up that way, you're heading up to Brown's Hardware. You take a left and it's right there. Everything is new and modern. And like I said before, they pay attention to detail. So they have as the number one priority your satisfaction. If you have a rental, you don't got to worry about parking. If you don't have a rental, reach out to them and they will assist you in getting a rental. There's parking for everybody. Taxi man coming to drop you home, he has enough space to park and turn around and do whatever he needs to do to make sure that you are safe and secure. Speaking of safety and security, they've got that in place too. All right. So you don't have to worry about a single thing. Just book, get dropped off, or drive yourself there, relax, enjoy yourself. And each room has a different color. So if you have a color of preference, then they'll be able to accommodate that as well. Yeah, I have a favorite room. I'm not going to tell you which one that is, but and of course they're highly sought after. So you have to book now and book early. You're coming home, you need a weekend off to yourself. Royal Bliss Apartment Suites is a place for you. Now, the time is 8:31. They I have a little rag this morning. Yeah, how to excuse me. Every now and then you see me wiping my face. I'm not crying. My eyes just watering. Okay, I'm not sad. My eye just watering. Okay, thank you. The WhatsApp number is 4579994. The number to call is 4579997. Now, let me go Brighton for a bit. Good morning, Brighton. Brighton Salt Pond, East St. George and surrounding areas. Good morning. How are you feeling this morning? Better? Yeah, because I see yesterday afternoon things didn't looking too nice. Now, Huffles Ranch went on Facebook and there was a live. I'm going to play a small piece of the live for you to see. But apparently, national parks, rivers, and beaches went to the area and took down the structures that were there. So
if they know them protect the building, tell them take up the building and go down and leave the beach. You know, the beach belongs to we the people. You go make bad for it, tell them take up the building and go, leave the beach here. Yeah, my leg. I think you got some grab board. What you want and put what? All them things there traveling. enjoy. When my children ain't come down here, them enjoy. You know what, man? So, are we planting coconut tree there? May as well chop down the coconut tree to walk through.
Yikes. That must have been tough to watch. To spend your time and money and effort to build up those structures to make sure that that area is a very nice family oriented place. And it's been there for quite some time, right? A lot of people go there. A lot of people go there, take pictures, videos. Just the other day, there was a little saga on the beach with, was it a little fight or whatever? And we even saw ministers of government down there enjoying themselves. It's a popular place. It's not a place that I would frequent. I've only visited it once. And it looks really nice. It is clean, but in the background, you could see a lot of saga, some seaweed. So I guess from time to time, they would have that issue. And only God knows who would clean up the beach, the people who are taking care of the facilities. Now, there's a bar in the back, and you can see the chairs. They look like they're made out of pallet board. I didn't go so far down, right? But they look like they're made out of pallet board. But the beach looks nice. Now, how do we get a man or a group of people who are taking care of the beach, keeping it clean, making it look tourism friendly, making it look attractive, providing a place? Listen, in terms of family oriented places, this place here, don't even get me started. How do we get from that point where they made the investment to uplift the beach to yesterday it being taken apart, structures being removed from the beach by national parks and rivers, national parks, rivers, and beaches? How? And throughout that live video there, that live video is actually about 20 minutes long, and there were like 3 of them on Huffle's Facebook page. He's actually calling out the Minister of Finance, Camilo Gonsalves, who's also the area representative. Called him out quite a number of times. Politics straight in there. Straight in. He said, boss, well, don't look for us next elections, because look at what you're doing. We spend so much money and so much time fixing up that place for people to enjoy, and they've been enjoying it, and folks just rolled in and took it down. Now, there's a second part to this story that I'll get to, but before I even got to the second part, I was running. So it cannot be that a set of people, including Huffles himself, would have spent money, time, and effort to put all these amenities in place if they didn't have permission to do it. Now, who in their right mind would do that? And if they were given permission, so they took back the permission and they just broke it down, were they given a warning letter at some point? Were they given warnings? Like, what happened? No. Later on that day, Honorable Camilo Gonsalves, Minister of Finance, and area rep of East St. George, and some other dignitaries within the Ministry of Tourism, Minister of Tourism himself and the Permanent Secretary, went out to try to rectify the situation because it was that serious. And we've seen from time to time structures being taken down. And sometimes some people are at fault because they were given warnings and they were not given permission before to put certain buildings and structures in certain places. Now we're going to listen to what they had to say. And they make sure we record it and put it straight on our first page as well to share with us. So let's take in a little bit of this one here. Of course, you're free to WhatsApp 4579994 or call to chime in on this one here.
Huffle,
Hi.
how are you?
Good night, this is Camilo Gonzalez. I'm here with the partner Huffle. I'm here with the permanent secretary, Mr. Dr. McBarnett in the Ministry of Tourism, who has responsibility for parks and beaches. We were together in a meeting today when I heard that parks and beaches came down here and destroyed property belonging to Huffles. I want to say unequivocally, not only was it not done with my authority, to the extent that I have authority there, it was not done with the authority of the Ministry of Tourism, which has responsibility for parks and beaches. This was a complete surprise to me. It was an unauthorized act, it was arbitrary, it was capricious, it was wrong. Furthermore, they took all of the property down and dumped it on private property next door. I don't know if when Parks and Beaches began creating litter in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the private property belonging to Huffles, he'll have to be compensated for it. And the structures that he put up were put up with the full knowledge of the Ministry of Tourism. Look, I have the Minister of Tourism here has come to join me now. What's going on?
All the time.
And the Minister James has responsibility for parks and beaches. We've come down here to tell Huffles that we apologize for what happened, that it was done without authority, and that he will be compensated for the damage that has been caused to his private property. I don't know who authorized it. I don't know why whatever was authorized was done in such a heavy-handed manner. But everything I'm a regular visitor to this beach.
All the time.
Everything that Huffles has put down here, he's put down with my knowledge. He's put down with the minister's knowledge. He's put down with the PS's knowledge. And I don't know who decided that they were going to come and become a law unto themselves and destroy his property without due process. It cannot happen. We're sorry it happened. It will not happen again. And we fully support Huffles' management of this facility. When this was nothing, when this beach was jungle, it was Huffles and his brethren who made this beach what it was. They built a facility here. The facility over time fell apart. We decided to build a new facility here. The first person we spoke to on Huffles' own patio of his house, we sat on his porch and discussed what we were going to do here. When we got the shop, the first and only applicant to come down here and set up a shop, because nobody thought they would make money down here. The applicant to come down here was Huffles. The person who signed the contract was Huffles. The person who cleans up the beach is Huffles. The person who has taken his time and labor and put up all of these things is Huffles. And I don't know who thought that they could come here and destroy his hard work, or the hard work of the Ministry of Finance, or the hard work of the Minister of Tourism. If National Parks and Beaches wants to come down here, of course they're welcome. The beach is covered in seaweed. They could clean up some of the sargassum. They could work with Huffles in a way to make sure that everything is done in accordance with the right regulations or whatever. But what they cannot do is drive down here in the middle of the day with no authorization and send rangers to pull down his property and throw it away like it's garbage. It's not garbage. Huffles has made this beach a unique attraction in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Sunday crowd down here, 400 plus people sometimes. It is a unique attraction. This is why they come and say the world comes down here. We love him for his investment and his sweat and tears in this particular beach, and we support him fully in his efforts down here. And I'm very happy that he has given a life and a soul to this facility. The government can build it, but it takes people like you to give it a soul and give it energy. There are a lot of buildings all around this country that are just sitting there doing nothing. You have made this beach a destination, and I thank you, and I am proud of you. And again, I apologize for whatever happened today, but we will make it right.
All right.
So, comrade, this is a very important project that we work together to build.
All the
You know
time.
that?
All the time.
And we value your contribution here. And as the Minister, and you are MP, Minister of Finance said, we were in a consultation today, so we weren't even aware that this was taking place. And you know, the very first person you should call in a situation like this is your MP, and he gave me a call to on that. We're here, we came out of the consultation and we came to get an assessment of what was taking place. And we have to make this right. We have to,
And we will make it right.
I work with you.
We're going to fix it.
You know.
We're going to fix it.
All right, man. One love, eh?
We're going to
Always.
fix it. All the time.
You know, I always in your corner, you know, come
All
on.
the time.
You know that. All right.
Anna, in Americana, Camilo in Americana. What do you think I'm playing? Play the man. What them so? First of all, if you compare, now this is one reason why I'm a little upset. Why? Because of what happened yesterday. You brought down a place that look real nice, real nice. Compare that to Chateau National Park out country. You see the state out there? Compared to what Huffles did down there. Now let's break it up a little bit. They got investment. Read between the lines. Minister of Finance was involved in this project. The Ministry of Tourism was involved in this project. A national parks, rivers, and beaches falls under the Ministry of Tourism. No, so then how do we jump over all of that and then just go and destroy the property? Is it that it was approved outside of what is normally regulated? So it's like, okay, structures on the beach, it nobody. Is it that somebody didn't know? It can be spite. It can be spite because a lot of things aren't making any sense. How could an entire ministry authorize structures and operation, and then a subset of the ministry that is responsible for beaches just go and quote unquote do their job? Is it that somebody is about to get in trouble? Did somebody get in trouble? Did somebody not pass the memo down to say, like, okay, Huffles has authority to do XYZ because the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Finance have authorized for him to do this and operate on the beach? Despite? Anybody else confused by this? If you notice something else, right? Where the Minister of Tourism say to Huffles, hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I am certainly confused or mesmerized by what I'm hearing from where I sit. Well, mesmerized because, like, some things are not for real or according to who you be in this country. I mean, why? Why are we having all these problems? Why are we? Why we cannot reach out to one another? A small 2x2 place like this, where everybody seems to know everybody. Huh?
Mm.
And yet, we cannot reason or communicate or whatever. I don't think I've heard the true story of this. Yes, I heard Camille Gonzalez, minister, making the apology there. But how did it get to the stage? That is what I would like to know. How did it get to the stage where some unknown quantity could have gone there and do what they had to do? I hope we don't have more than one government in this country. I hope there's not a gang on the ground government, or is there some other gang or something? These are the things we need to,
I don't sure, boss.
These are the things we need to question. And I'm glad you bring it on the front page to the street. I mean, going on the beach now, sleeping, what else our indigenous, our native people? Why don't talk about a poor black man and as a people trying to make $1 or two? He always becomes the target, especially if you see that poor black man is getting out of whatever squalor he was living in before. Man or woman, because most of the time whoever is involved have a family to raise and all of that. It's reaching up one another, cutting one another throat, stabbing one another in the back. And we have our speaking nice. Oh, Christal, you're such a beautiful woman and all of that stuff. to impress and to impact on you and to test you to see how strong you are. I'm just using that as a but all of that is to soften to get you to take advantage, to exploit it. That's how we behave here in this country. Well, maybe it's a good thing I am not alive and well as I used to be because I never got myself in trouble long time. So maybe it's a good thing I am not in all this public melee and all that is taking place. As a good citizen, I consider myself as a good citizen, not only a good citizen, a senior citizen. I am happy that maybe this is my time to go in another direction and not to be caught up or not to be concerned. But then once I'm alive and living it in a country where this is
Yes, yes, sir. You want to say something?
yeah, all right. And if you're backing in your support, you know, as a young princess or do I say princess?
No, I'm sorry. No.
Well, I don't want to use that word because somebody has to use that word with you guys.
Focus. Straight and narrow.
I focusing.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, I really feel uncomfortable.
We're sticking to the topic. We're talking about Brighton Salt Pond.
Yes,
And
well, that's, by the way, Hoppers, I don't know who is this guy. Is he of intention?
From what I believe so. I'm have to assume that he is.
Okay. Well,
He's a local businessman. He's a well-known businessman.
well, I was another thing they had something out of here. They see on a place by Diamond there, by Diamond, maybe Diamond there.
Well, me know Brighton, also Brighton.
All right.
Yeah, right before Diamond, yes.
Right, so that's why I know I never get the opportunity to go there, but I know.
Yeah, them in place.
So
Raj? No, sir.
you saw you.
No, not me.
Like you.
No, not me.
All right,
All right.
Thanks for stimulating my thoughts, and you know, when I hear these things, I must put in the mouth because this is nothing personal. I don't know who the person is, who the owner is.
Thank you very much. Now, something that the Minister of Tourism said, if anything like this happens, call your MP or you call me. Now, do you really think that we have entities here that are government run that just go and pick up today for tomorrow for today and just take down a man's structure just so? Just so? I want to believe that they might have been operating within the confinements of what they are legally obligated to do. That's what I want to believe. I also want to believe that there might have been some sort of miscommunication or something perhaps was not done that was probably missing from a file or something. I want to say something else, about this. Maybe something was not done. Maybe. But if it was not done, and Area Rep Gonsalves was involved in it integrally, and the Minister of Tourism was involved, did whatever negotiations they had on behalf of the ministry with Huffles, did that trickle down to the relevant authorities? Because for a place that people go to very often, that is clean, It's a nice family oriented place. It's a tourism spot. And tourism, everyone's business. You know what they say all the time? You really think the authority that is in control of rivers, parks, beaches would just take down something like that just because something in the matter besides the pistol? I hope they fix it. I hope it's not a case where they could have just sit down and negotiate something and prevent all of this. Now the government has to find money to go and reimburse Huffles and his crew. Now they gotta spend time, waste time to go and rebuild. Hello, yeah, put in some nicer things, because the place was looking nice, but put in some real nice things now. Turn it up a little more. There's one good thing coming out of this. Everybody knows about Brighton Salt Pond now. And as soon as it's done fix, everybody going out there. There's a voice note here. Let me try play it, boy. Hope it's not done bad enough because I ain't listening to it first.
Christal morning.
Man, like it just
Christal
wake up,
is
boy.
a bright lady. So nobody's supposed to read and write for you.
No.
Christal, shoulder don't go above head. And if shoulder go above head, that's gonna be a big sign.
Mm-hmm.
So with my thing, the minister responsible for the area say he don't know nothing. Well, tourism minister say he don't know nothing. Well, somebody's supposed to get fired since yesterday.
So drastic?
If them don't know nothing, that's come like shoulder gone above head. And that can't happen. That is impossible. So somebody supposed to get fired. And if nobody get fired, I have to take what the Minister of Finance say with a grain of salt. Not a grain of salt, a big spoon of salt. If nobody don't get fired.
A big spoon of salt. On a serious note, though, it's not a very good look. And if I were the head of national parks, rivers, and beaches, I would have felt really embarrassed because I might have been operating within the confinements of the law. I would have been doing my job, probably would have been doing my job, and in comes the ministers, or two ministers, two government officials, to say it was not authorized and it wasn't this and it wasn't that, and like basically threw me under the bus. You threw me on. There's like several buses there. Threw me on the whole trailer. I would have felt really embarrassed, and it's not a good look for a government entity at all. I think all of the government entities supposed to be one. They're supposed to mesh. If it is that tourism, somebody reaches out to tourism because they have a project, you're supposed to pass through all the other entities that would help you or make sure that that project is in line with the laws of SVG. Are you allowed to put an establishment here? Yes, it has tourism benefits and what's not, but you get your permission. I'm not saying that this is the case for Huffles, but generally speaking, you get your permission, you get this, you get your letters done, da 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 da. And then if you need help from the minister himself, or in this case now herself, then you do that. But make sure your ducks are in a row. What if, right? Maybe per se, let's say Minister Gonsalves and Minister James were not in the country, what would have happened? I think it's really embarrassing for the minister to come back and scold the ministries, not the ministries, but sections within the ministries for things like this. This is embarrassing. Very embarrassing. And I hope it's not a case where there's preferential treatment to somebody or a group of people, that the information did not, or you did not ensure that they had all their ducks in a row. That's embarrassing. If national rivers, parks, and beaches have the authority to do certain things, I hope it's not a case where certain things were overlooked. Anyways, 8:57. Gonna wrap up on this one here and head to the top of the hour. Before I do that, good morning, Christal. I haven't reached out to you in a while now, but I listen to you each morning. Good morning. Thank you. I heard of the shooting of the 5 people 2 days ago. That's terrible. I'm thinking that the police should do random searches now, especially at nights. That will deter the carrying of arms. We need to do something drastic to minimize the crime activities in the country. Thank you. Well, that's the crime. As to that, no, you need to do it now. Man, some of these initiatives have to be consistent, and all the time needs to be done. This is a crisis, Yeah, we don't think so. All right, cool, no problem. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. I accept that, but something had to do, and it has to be done now before it's too late. As far as I'm concerned, somebody yesterday, and I have to go and look for figures to do the maths. But you see that word called rates? Whenever we bring it up to draw a reference to how good or bad something is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as compared to like other islands, people don't quite understand what we mean by rate. When we talk about the rate of something per 100,000, you want to say, oh, St. Vincent small, Jamaica big, Trinidad big, US big, blah, blah, blah. You can't compare. Yes, you can compare the two. If you get a rate per 100,000, somebody did that for our homicide rates, and the difference between us and some larger countries that we are paranoid about. It doesn't matter the size of the country, it's the rate per 100,000 of the event that matters. Coming up at 9 o'clock, the ECCB bank rates, brought to you compliments the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Following that, we have your 3D and Play 4 draw results for last night. Coming to you compliments the National Lotteries Authority. Something else. Sometimes what has happened with some people, you go to certain folks and they're going to tell you, yes, and they don't even know that you have to go and get 1 paper here, 2 paper there, 3 paper there, 4 paper there, 5 paper, and pay $200 for this. But you gone ahead with that, yes. And when the 5 people who ain't get no paper and the $200 come and do what they have to do, then hits the fan. Best thing for people to do, sometimes, you see, especially when you get in trouble too, go through the correct channels that are set there by the government and the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sometimes it don't make no sense because you get yourself in more trouble. But some people love to pull string. Anyways, I'm gone for the day.